Hello Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Rising. These are your messages for November. And the very first card that we have coming up for you as your underlying energy, if I can pick it up, is the Ace of Swords. Aces are always the potential for new beginnings. Swords represent our thoughts, our beliefs, our ideas, and how we communicate them. So when we get the Ace of Swords, this is some new truth. This is some new way of thinking. There we go. It's a new way of thinking. It can indicate some truth that is revealed to us, or some truth that we're now ready to reveal to someone else. It can be like when we have a new philosophy, a new belief, and we set forward, we begin a new cycle with that belief. It's a victory card, so it shows victory through clarity and the truth. Now, if you have this coming up as your underlying energy, it's about the truth. That's what November's about for you. It's about getting to the truth. You may have already done the hard work, and now it's about implementing that because you're starting out. It's the ace, right? It's the beginning of that. When we come up with a new idea, we have a new way of thinking. We have to convey that to other people. I always say this, and I say this, if you've had a personal reading from me, you've heard this plenty of times, I'm sure, but we always get into a dance. We have like a dance routine with each person that we interact with. Now, when we have a new belief, a new way of thinking about something, a new idea, what happens is we change the dance moves. So when you first kind of interact with someone else, they kind of are used to the old dance moves. So we bump into each other, we step on each other's toes. But this is, I feel, a month where you guys are going to be really expressing what your truth is. And it's good. It's victory through the truth. And there's other cards that back this up later on. But at the heart of your reading, we have the Knight of Wands. So knights always represent progress and movement. And the Knight of Wands, he's the adventurer. He's the one, he has lots of passion, lots of creativity. He's very excitable, very enthusiastic, and he's always off on a new adventure. So this is coming up at the heart of your reading. At a very kind of mundane level, some of you may, with this new truth, this new way of thinking, decide to go on a new adventure, a literal adventure. Some of you may be traveling. That's what the Knight of Wands does. He is the explorer. He is the traveler. So there may be some new place, part of the world, new in your career, in a relationship, something new that you want to explore now, a new adventure that you want to go on. The thing with the Knight of Wands is wands are fire energy. So that can be an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. You may be interacting with someone who takes on the qualities of the fire signs. So somebody may have come in who's showing you a new way of doing things, that maybe they're the ones that have created this new way of thinking. They may have some truth. The Knight of Wands is very fast moving, comes crashing in from nowhere. It's not the Knight of Swords. Usually the Knight of Swords is the one that's more about the truth. This is someone who, just with their passion, their energy, has shown you a new way of being. So there could be that. It could also mean that, you know, this is someone that you're now seeing the truth about. The thing with the Knight of Wands is he can seem to be a little bit unreliable because he's always off having fun, right? He's always off looking for the next adventure. So this can be someone that you kind of maybe wrote off as being unreliable, or that, you know, you thought they were too immature, or whatever people think about the Knight of Wands. But now there's some truth coming out around this person, or because of this person. It's going to play out differently for all of you. At your foundation and the past energy, we have the Two of Wands. So this is a decision that was made. As I always say with the Two of Wands, it's not just a mental decision. This is what swords are, our thoughts, our beliefs, right? This is a new way of thinking. But this is more than that. This is action that gets taken. So it feels like a decision was made in the past with the Two of Wands. Because the Two of Wands is when we've been on a path and that path comes to an end. We have no option but to pick a new path. And it's not just about deciding on the path. It's about taking steps on that path. It feels like you have. You've taken steps down a path. There was a decision that was made. Now, that may not have been your decision. That may have been a decision that you were, someone else made, and then you had to act accordingly. Like, how are you going to react to that? So it's very much that kind of energy. And it feels like a decision was made, a new course of action was taken. It's interesting, though. If the Two of Wands was in the present, that would explain the Knight of Wands, because the Knight of Wands would go charging down a new path. But maybe it feels like, to me, looking at that top row, it's almost as if you were kind of forced to make a decision, or a decision was kind of foisted on you. But now that you were kind of forced to kind of go in that direction, there is this kind of new excitement coming in. There's new passion. Maybe it's shown you a different way of doing things. Maybe it's shown you that, there is so much more, that there's a different adventure that you want, a new creative project, a relationship, something that you now want, something that, has got you excited, has got your passion going. Passion doesn't just have to be in the bedroom, right? It can be a passion for a project, a job, anything, a hobby, something that we're now moving towards. So it's interesting that in the present, we have the Justice card. Justice is the card for Libra. Some of you may be dealing with a Libra. This is that energy of justice is done. There may have been some injustice that was done in the past. As much as picking a new path and going down a new path is a great thing, obviously, but it may have been that was not your choice. Maybe you were forced to go down that path. Some of you may have had to make a decision for legal action, or, to try to balance the scales, because that's what justice is all about, balancing the scales. It can be balancing the karmic scales. This can be when karmic debt is paid off. It's also about amends being made with the Justice card. So if we've done wrong by someone else, we have to make amends. Or if they've done wrong to us, they have to make amends. This can be when apologies come in. But it's kind of like the Ace of Swords doubled up with this Justice card. Because if you look at her, she has her sword here. And that's justice is done through the truth, right? So that's why some people, when the Justice card comes up, they think they're getting justice. But they, as much as they think they're in the right, it may not be what is just. Just is through the truth. That's what that sword represents. And she's not actually blindfolded. Usually the lady in the Justice card is blindfolded. So, she doesn't take sides. She's very impartial. But here she isn't. She's got her scales in one hand and she's got her sword in the other. And this is on top of it, right? The Ace of Swords. So it feels like justice is done by some truth coming out. There's some truth that is revealed. Either you are now ready to reveal a truth, or somebody else reveals the truth to you, and that balances the scales. That makes everything fair. Even though at first sometimes it doesn't seem like that. Now, this is where I kind of looked at the cards and I thought, okay, this is great. Little story coming out here. Then we get the Four of Pentacles in the future. What is this, Capricorn? This is the Miser card. Not calling you a miser. What the Four of Pentacles represents is us becoming very, very clear on what is valuable to us. Like this person, those Four Pentacles, that's all this person has. Very valuable to this person because they represent stability to this person, security. To lose them would make them vulnerable, right? So they're holding on to them for dear life, making sure those pentacles are not getting away. They're not going to lose what is of value to them. They're holding on tight. Now, I always say it's good. It's good to know what's of value to you. It's very good to know what's of value to you. However, as much as this person's holding on to those Four Pentacles, they can hold on to them for dear life and they won't lose them. They'll have that. If you're holding on to something, you won't lose it. You're going to keep hold of it. That's great. But this person won't get more than what they have right now. To do that, they have to risk their stability, what does that mean? They have to go and spend those pentacles. They have to invest them. They have to do something with them to get more. For some of you, this could just literally be a financial kind of thing, something to do with if there was a court case, there was some kind of settlement. Now you're trying to figure out what to do with the money. It can very simply just mean that. For others of you, it can be that, there is justice, there is balance. There's some new truth that maybe you didn't see before. Now you see it. Some truth has been revealed to you. And that's kind of threatening your stability in some way. Now, it doesn't have to. I mean, I know I'm saying it's threatening your stability. It can just be that, it's made you realize what you value even more. And you have that initial reaction of, oh, I want to hold on to this. I don't want to lose this. But even if you don't want to lose it, you have the Knight of Wands above this. The Knight of Wands goes after that new adventure. These two are opposing energies. The Knight of Wands is never going to just sit there holding on to pentacles. So it feels like there's a part of you that wants to do this, but this might be the looking at, but I don't think I have it. Like if you want to go traveling, I don't think I have enough money, or I can't take the time off work, or, it's that kind of thing. This can also talk about comfort zones. because this person, that's their security, right? So I talk about comfort zones and boundaries at the end of the video, but boundaries are great. We need to all have healthy boundaries. It lets us know how far we'll go. It lets other people know, like the rules of engagement, lets them know how to interact with us. However, when we get stuck in a comfort zone, we can't change, we can't grow. So this might be that. Now, I don't actually see this as much as I'm going on to the kind of darker spectrum of the energies around each card. Each one has a lighter and a darker aspect. I don't feel like this card is too bad for you guys, because as your advice, you have the Four of Wands. So I kind of feel like this is more of a pause. This is more of you assessing what's of value to you, assessing what you're not willing to lose. For some of you, it's going to be a realization that something that you didn't realize its value, now you do. Now you realize how valuable that is to you. So 2 fours, right? There's no movement when 4s come up, and yet there is when the Knight of Wands comes up. So this can be very frustrating when you get these kinds of energies, because you might want to do this, or you're dealing with someone who wants this. They want to like, let's go do this, let's do that. And you're like, whoa, let's just hang on a second. We don't want to lose our pentacles. The Four of Wands, it's a card of, well, it's a kind of commitment. That's what it says to me. It says a good start has been made. You know, the foundation has been laid. A great start has been made in whatever creative venture, whatever it could be a relationship that started, a job. This can oftentimes show a house move or a new job. It's the energy that changes around us. But when it comes up like this, it's especially with the Four of Pentacles before it, it's almost like, yes, you might be holding on to this, but this could be a commitment, like a deeper commitment. I always see a greater commitment in the Four of Wands, where we decide that, yes, this is what I want. And you know the value now because you have the Four of Pentacles. This is what I want. This is what I'm going to hold on to. So this can be if you've just been dating someone, you now decide to move in together or get engaged. Or, like I said, you get a bigger house or you get a better job. Like, it's that commitment to something bigger. It's also a celebration card. Some of you maybe, like, think about it. Look at that bottom row. You've made a decision. You won the legal case. You got a settlement and you're celebrating. So, it can be that, very simply put. But in a relationship, this can be some new truth that you find out about someone. With that Knight of Wands there, it kind of feels like you may have written them off as being a little immature or being too fast moving, or you weren't too sure about them. Looks like some truth came out. There is this initial kind of, I don't know if this is like what I want. But Four of Wands is a great energy. It's a very great energy. It is a card of celebration. So there is something to celebrate here. And think back, the celebration or whatever it is, it goes back to this place. It goes back to that crossroad. It's going to show you that the path that you took was the right path. It was the right path. I mean, it's a doubling up, right? 2 of Wands, 4 of Wands. Don't need to be a mathematician to figure that one out. But yeah, it's doubling up. You've made that decision. Or even if it was not your decision and you were not happy about it at the time, it's led to this place now. Or now you're coming out from underneath that decision. With justice here in the present, the scales have been balanced. If whatever you had to do, whatever, that decision led to, that's debt's been paid off. That, scales have been balanced there. And now it's time to celebrate and to move forward. 4s are that kind of stable energy. I've said that there's no progress when that happens. But that's because it's a place to pause. That's why it's not good to get stuck in this energy. It's okay to pause and to know what's of value to you, what you want to hold on to. But from there, action is going to come. And I kind of feel that's going to happen in December when it's your season. So we are in Scorpio season right now. So, that could be where you're just still assessing, finding out what the truth is here with that Ace of Swords. But yeah, it looks good. So let's have a look at your oracle cards and see what they add to this. Right. So the first one that we have from the Romance Angels is soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. That could be what throws you. I mean, as much as like, oh my God, like soulmates are so romanticized and it's so nutty, the kind of whole culture around soulmates that's taken place. But what is a soulmate? This is just, this is a Romance Angel card, so it is related to your love life. But if you're doubting, sometimes they come crashing into our lives, like very much like the Knight of Wands. I hope I haven't been calling him the King of Wands. It just came to me that might have been. But the Knight of Wands, he comes crashing in And it can be kind of a little bit startling, especially if we're in this place where it's like, whoa, hang on a second, you're not coming into my comfort zone. So maybe, but it's kind of telling you, and what do soulmates do? Soulmates are there to bring us home to ourselves. They reveal truths about ourselves. So if there is a question mark about what is this person here to do, they ultimately bring us home to ourselves. They're there to teach us things about ourselves, to open up aspects of ourselves to us. They don't do it on purpose, and we do the same for them, right? Now, the card that you have from the Whispers of Love is number 4. You are limitless. And it says, recognize this truth. You can do anything you choose to do. I love this card. It's so beautiful anyway. But that's this. You have 2 4s here. Which one are you going to do? You're going to sit there and hold on like tight to this and not have more than what you have here? Or you're going to celebrate. You're going to commit to this. You're going to say, yeah, let's build on this. We've got a good foundation. Let's go. Let's build on this. And ultimately, it is your choice. And you can't make the wrong choice. You can't make the wrong choice. You never can. I always say that, you know, when we get stuck, and I know this is a past energy for you, but this is one of the cards that I do say this about, that oftentimes we can get stuck at those crossroads because we don't know. We're afraid to make the wrong decision. And you can't really make the wrong decision, because if you're meant to be somewhere, if you're meant to go somewhere, if you're meant to achieve something, you will achieve it. You may just have to take the long way around, and that's your choice, right? And that's your free will. But even then, you'll have valuable experiences on that journey. And the Knight of Wands teaches us that. Now, coming up from the Wisdom of the Oracle, we have number 15, and these always get washed out, message in a bottle. This can be like a literal message that comes in for you. Can be an email, a text message, it's someone calling you up out of the blue. This also talks of synchronicity. So you may be seeing signs and symbols, like, you know, a song on the radio, numbers, or whatever it is, whatever speaks to you. There'll be a sign or a symbol that is a message to you that shows you are in alignment with your destiny, with your own highest good, that you're going in the right direction. It kind of feels like that's what this might be, because this is just a pause. Everything else kind of seems there's energy here, there's movement, there's new beginning with that Ace of Swords. This is where you kind of pause and say, you know, what is this? What is this of value to me? What do I want to hold on to? What am I willing to risk? Which is not a bad thing. But I do feel like you're going to get some kind of sign, or, you know, this could be not even just be you. This could be someone committing to you. This could be someone offers you a new job. Someone offers like you a place to live or something, that this seems like there's something, it's in alignment with what it is that you want. And the reason I'm kind of saying that is we have the Web Weaver from Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. And this card's about synchronicity, divine intelligence, cause and effect. So that's what the Web Weaver does. Like when we have something that we want, like we're pursuing a project, we want to achieve something, or we want a certain type of relationship. The Web Weaver weaves that web and makes sure that we meet the right people. We, you know, someone that's going to help us further our creative projects, or whatever it is we're trying to create or make in our life. This is when we see synchronicities, when we get the messages that we need. We're shown that we're going in the right direction. It's those kind of situations where, you know, you want to learn how to do something, and all of a sudden someone says, hey, I've read this great book, and it's just on the topic that you want to know about. It's those kinds of synchronicities, those kinds of signs that you're going in the right direction, and there is help available to you. There is help available to you from the universe.